All right, guys, good morning. How is everyone doing? Bitcoin's breaking out. Or is Bitcoin breaking out? Is it manipulation or is it real breakout? What is up, Craig? Good morning. CJDV, Argyle, Thomas, Satoshi, how you doing? This is why we didn't get into a trade last night, guys, because I didn't like what I was seeing on the 4-hour for a short. We had that bullish dive. And what is up, Tim? Right? Look, guys, we had that bullish dive right here. Boom, boom. Now, I'm not saying I like the full breakout either, but this is definitely a pump off of this CPI. You can see right here that we broke this uptrend. We came outside of the channel. And obviously, we are pumping. APG, how you doing? So now the question is this going to be a breakout or a fake out? Well, let's see. If you go to your liquidity gaps here on Bitcoin, I'm very shocked we never hit 64 because we bounced off of it, but we never actually took out the longs at 64. So there's a possibility it's manipulation. But for the most part here, we can see that we're probably going to move up to this area around 71. If we break this, we got a lot of buys here. We come up to $71,000. We already broke the downtrend, guys. So the downtrend is broken a long time ago. If you were going to get into long, you'd be longing right here about 67.3. Otherwise, this is a huge candle coming up. You're definitely not shorting this pump. Don't try to short this pump. Don't try to look for the reversal. Right? The reversal is how you lose trades. Wait for the confirmation of a continuous uptrend or a downtrend. Right now, Bitcoin's in a no trading zone. I wasn't able to catch this pump early enough. But we can see the golden cross. We can see everything right here is broken out. And it doesn't look like a fake out to me at the moment. Okay. It is also Friday the 13th, guys. So there's that little pump on Friday the 13th. Here's the thumbnail today. We're rocking with a really, really good thumbnail today. Live trading manipulation. Is it manipulation? We don't really know yet, right? Or is it going to be a true breakout? Because if we broke out and we start dropping all the way back down inside of the channel, it's definitely going to be manipulation. Based on what I'm seeing right now, though, the manipulation already happened. We had this opening wick here, and then we pumped off of that orb candle on the 15-minute time frame or the 1-minute time frame, however you want to look at orb. So it looks like we are definitely broken out, but I'm not going to full on and go say this is a bull market right away because we do need to get back above the previous high, which would be about 72.5. We need to get back above that previous high. We have a lot of resistance in this fair value gap right here. We have more buys than sells around 70K. But overall, we are definitely moving. So Bitcoin is in a no trade zone at the moment for me until we kind of see what is happening. Looks like we might get a weekend pump and then a sell-off after the weekend because there will be no volume during the weekend. Orb strategy seemed like manipulation today. We were going lower than reversed. Well, we did back test off of the 1 minute. Let me see if I could even. So if you're looking at the 1 minute with orb, on that 15-minute opening candle, you did backtest that fair value gap, right? So that is in itself, yeah, you did backtest that fair value gap right there. Which, if you're looking at CPI, is looking good right now. So this would be the 1 minute order block here on the 15-minute candle. The first 15-minute candle right here is your manipulation wick. You pumped. Yeah, you know what? That would be a fake out for sure. For me, I would have to have confluence. I would have to have confirmation, right? So I would be looking for another back test, and then I would be longing. But that is what happened. So we are pumping, guys. We broke out. I can't promise you this is not manipulation at the moment because this is a big candle. Obviously, it's a lot of green momentum here. I don't believe it is manipulation. It is probably real breakout for now. We are above the 200 SMA. Now we're bullish. We're actually bullish, right? We were running away from the 200 SMA for a bit here. And now we are actually bullish. Hit that like button, guys. Let's run up the live. And I'm talking bullish in the shorter term. I'm not talking bullish in the longer term. Because anytime you're above that 200 SMA, you're bullish. But will it be a fake out? That I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, right? 4-hour candle closes here in about 21 minutes. Argyle, how you doing? I feel like there could be a pullback to 66. So we already broke out. So 67.2 would be the pullback. But again, this is CPI. So there's actually volume coming into the market. And right now, we don't really know what is going to happen. All right, so let's set an alert here. Again, I'm not trading this, guys. There's no point in me trading this when I know we're in a bear market. We are 100% in a bear market. But there will be pumps and retraces. 3-day weekend, market closed on a Monday. Great. Awesome to hear. So there will be some manipulation for sure. I think if you guys are looking for a good short, $69.3 would have been your short. But there are more buys than sells here too. But that 69.3 would have been a really good short. Otherwise, if you're looking at your 5-minute time frame, before we leave today, can we get a good plan for the 3-day weekend coming up? Don't trade. That is my plan. I don't trade on weekends anymore. I don't. Yeah, I just don't trade on weekends anymore. So you're really waiting for this 5-minute or this 15-minute RSI to break. Same 5-minute, 15-minute. So you are rejecting that area on the fair value gap. Well, I mean on your liquidity gaps right here. This actually would have been a pretty good scalp short, but 4-hour, I still think we could come up to 71K at the moment. We do need to break that previous buy order block. A lot of buy order blocks right here. Light and Love Media, how you doing? Making any cash? We've been crushing it all weekend, all weekday. Currently, I'm not shorting. Currently, I'm not longing. All I'm doing right now is waiting for the market to present an opportunity and kind of see the direction we're going. There was manipulation. There was some key and major manipulation this morning with that wick. So just watching, right? Like it's a Friday too, guys. So I would be waiting to see what happens into the New York close. Maybe you can get a short off of volume decrease in the New York close. This is what I've been doing lately. I've been getting a short off of volume decreasing in the New York close. I'll be honest with you guys. Anytime New York is starting to close, volume is decreasing, sell momentum comes in, and usually I'm shorting that. It's really tough for me to short this right now, though, because we're above the 200 SMA. But it's very tough for me to long this because we're in a bear market. So, you know, it is what it is. The daily is still moving up, and you've got room on the daily. So this is obviously why we're pumping. That's the reason we haven't dropped yet. Hit that like button if you guys have not. All right. XRP, did it break out? Yeah, it did. Look, there's the pennant, guys. So it looks like this pennant was correct. We've been chasing this downtrend for quite some time. But again, is it a true breakout? I'm not sure. I can't give that answer because I need to know more if we hold it. Like if you look right here, the pennant broke out. Even right here on your RSI, the pennant broke out. So that would be a breakout for me if I'm following normal TA. And that means XRP should pump all the way to 181. Again, if I'm following normal TA. But is this a normal TA market? Well, you got to decide. 184, 181. I'm not going to come on here, guys, and say Bitcoin's bullish because it's not. So this is why we're in a no trade zone. Do I like longing? Sure. I would love longing a pennant. Sure, I would love longing a breakout. But we know what happens when things break out in the market. At least lately, they come back to the range, right? They come back inside of the channel. They always fake out. Maybe we pop up to about 145, 149. I wouldn't go longing this XRP pennant balls to the wall right now. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. Something seems off with this pump to me, and we are in CPI. And we've also had this pennant for quite a long time. So on XRP. So again, my thesis is I'm not trading this. Not right now. Not until we break in that 5-minute time frame and maybe into the New York close. Olga, good morning. How you doing? What is stop loss for Bitcoin short from 69.3? Oh, so you guys got in literally right where I said to possibly short it. So my stop loss would be pretty simple. Yeah, so it looks like we are having some sell momentum here, but so my stop loss would probably be $69.9 or $69.8. Otherwise, you just go for a quick stop loss at $69.4. Definitely took out the shorts. Remember, guys, we were talking about this channel last night on the London Live. I was looking for a short right here. Right here was our rejection. Here is actually the back test right here. Thomas, did you get my email? I did email you. Did you get it? I'm emailing from an Apple account. So if you guys are looking for the coaching and you're not getting my email, let me know. Here was the back test, guys, on Bitcoin. And then we flew. I'll be honest with you guys. I set a short last night. I forgot about it. I took a loss. So that's if I'm completely honest with you guys, I forgot about my short and it broke out. So on my funded account, I actually took a big loss by accident, forgetting about the trade. What I recommend, guys, is don't set limit orders at resistance and support. Okay, just get in with a market order and do not set limit orders in this market. All right. It was a funny mistake, but luckily I didn't blow my account. It wasn't a funny mistake, actually, because I was tired last night. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to set a short. And I forgot about it. And I woke up and I almost blew my account. So there you go. When you guys get funded, do not set limit orders when you go to sleep. And if you go to sleep, watch your freaking trade, okay? That is my blooper for today. Almost blew a funded account while forgetting about my trade. Furthermore, we have a rising wedge. If you wanted to take the short, you would take the short right here, okay? This is where you take the short. You would set a stop loss to 69.4 to 69.5. I can't trade my accounts because I accidentally shorted and forgot about it. All right. So there you go. But would I get into a trade earlier? I probably wouldn't. I would get into a trade right here. I would have my stop 68.5, 68.7. I would have my stop loss at 69.4. Okay. Because that is a perfect rising wedge. And we'd like to see these rising wedges. It could fake out, right? But you have a 3-point trend right here. Add that to the guidelines. Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you right now, guys, I was so close. My drawdown's 1,500. Okay. Oh, you can only lose 1,500 in a day. Luckily, I woke up when I did because I don't know if I'd be on the live right now if I ended up blowing 10 funded accounts. Okay, I really don't know if I'd be on the live right now. Like, that's $1 million. So it is what it is. Argyle, you can't trade just because you had a loss. After you have a loss, you stop trading for the day. That is how I trade moving forward. And it wasn't even an intentional loss. It was more like, oh, I set a short and I forgot about it. Right? But guys, after I lose, I am done trading for the day. That is it. I don't go chase that loss. And my max on my funded account is 1,500. I think it was like 1,400 or whatever it is. So it isn't crazy. I'm still up over on my funded accounts. But look, now we're coming down off this rising wedge. So if you guys got into a little shorty short right there, going to be making some profit. Here's the rule of thumb, guys. Do not trade after a loss. You're chasing. You're not in the right mindset. I'll tell you what, when you play poker, okay, and I am really good for this. When you play poker and you win, you're happy, okay? And then you go play some more poker and you might win, you might lose. But as soon as you lose, that is when things get rough. You start chasing, you start going all in, you start forgetting about things. Okay? And that is essentially what trading is. My short on Bitcoin would be in this region right here with a stop about 69.4. Okay? The thing about funded accounts, guys, you got to keep in mind is if you have 10 funded accounts, you better be watching it. If you forget about one funded account, you can't lose more than $1,500. Your drawdown for the day. If you do, you're liquidated, you're done. You got to redo the challenge all over again. So it is what it is, right? But I'm telling you guys, if you lose for the day, just be done trading for the day. It's pretty simple. Cold Cup, how you doing? We're going to go down to 65K back to the double bottom. I'm not sure we're going to go yet because we are in a bear market. It is a breakout. Don't get me wrong. Even look at Sol. Sol broke out. So we've been riding this downtrend for quite some time, guys. How many days have we've been riding this downtrend for sure? Okay, Thomas, I'll send you a new email. Thank you for letting me know. If you guys didn't get the email on the coaching, I'll have to send you a new email. But again, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm not in a trade at the moment. I'm not in a trade. I'm not looking to trade today. Would I be trading if I didn't make that mistake on my funded account? I probably wouldn't. It would be the same thing. I wouldn't be trading. I'm going to tell you guys why. Because I see a breakout. I see us above the 200 SMA. But we're in a bear market. So I'm not going to long. I'm going to look for the top. But I'm also not going to try to look for the reversal. Because if I look for the reversal and it's not the reversal, I'm going to lose. Right? So let's look at Solana here. So rule of thumb and moral of the compass is when you're tired, do not set an alert and go take a shower, feel all good, forget about it, and go to bed. That is the moral story. I'm not even mad because one day I make $1,000 back, I'm good. But if I would have blew that account, I would have been very upset because I've been absolutely crushing every trade, winning every trade, might I add. Every trade we've been winning. Well, every trade that we've been following the trend. Solana. Solana about $86 is where it should go to in the shorter term. Okay, is anybody shorting Bitcoin right now? It did break the uptrend, so it could pump to 68.9 to 68.3. When can you take money out of a funded account? Depending. If you pay more money, 3 to 5 days. If you pay less money, 10 to 15 days. But you should be able to take out money out of account if you pay $1,000 and you follow the challenge in about 3 to 5 days. Then you got to wait 2 weeks. Or you're looking at about $10 days if you go cheaper. So if you go cheaper, you're looking at about 10 days, right? By cheaper, I mean pay like $200-300. Steven, send a new email. Okay, who emailed about the coaching, guys? If you emailed about the coaching, I'm only doing 2 people. We had 8 people email, I believe. beastlimitless@icloud.com. Let's see. I've got Thomas here. And then I've got a couple more people I have to look at. But I did send an email. So you could see Bitcoin's kind of slowing momentum here, guys. We got about 8 people for the coaching. So if you're looking at the coaching, guys, there's only going to be 2 people out of that 8 people, at least for February. However, if you guys are looking for the training, February 21st. All right, February 21st for the training. Okay, so Bitcoin's running out of momentum here. We see hype have a little bit of a pump. Hype is probably going to push up to about $33. I don't like hype. I wouldn't be looking at hype. We're going to look at Ethereum. You know what? I would love this to be a real breakout, and I'm pretty sure everyone else would, right? Have some green momentum in the market. That would be really nice, guys, if we had a real breakout. Again, 200 SMA is looking promising. keep in mind, guys, we dropped, right? This is what I said last night. We had a massive drop. Yes, we can continue to drop, but the reality is we had a massive drop. I'm not saying we're bullish by any means, but if we're looking at the daily, relaxing sounds alpha, I'm actually on Ethereum right now, right? So if we're looking at the daily, guys, here's our macro key resistance on the daily on Ethereum. So now I am looking at this daily resistance being hit. It's a possibility because we had a big drop, right? I don't know if I trust the Friday too much. But like even if you're going back to Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? You go to the daily. Well, this would be the top actually. So we've been looking for this top to be hit. It is not hit. By the way, happy Friday the 13th to everybody. Is anybody going to watch any scary Michael Myers movies or anything like that? Actually, what are some good horror movies to watch? I love horror movies. Love them. My favorite. Yeah, see, that would have been a good short, guys, right there in that region. Now we're just going to range. That would have been such a good short if I didn't mess up on that. Another day, another dollar. Could even push up back here, but it shouldn't go higher than here because it did break that uptrend structure. I think we were looking at Tron 2. We were looking at Tron 2, guys, bouncing off of this area right here. So Tron is in a double top. Tron has some manipulation. Remember, we want to look at all the large caps because if I want to make people really good money in this market, the reality is the large caps are on MetaTrader. The reality is the large caps is what is going to make you money because you can use higher leverage with less risk. Court W, thank you for coming live. Thank you for commenting. What is your target on Ethereum? I don't have a target yet. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have a target yet for Bitcoin or Ethereum. Well, Bitcoin, I might have a better target because we broke out of the rising wedge. I just don't trust the pump that is going on right now, especially on a Friday and on a weekend, right? So, yeah. So Tron is going to be looking very, very good. A little bit of a fake out here on Tron. You can see Tron completely overbought. If it breaks out, great. I don't know if it will. But once Tron hits the top, whatever the top is going to be, Tron is going to be a dynamite short. Can I look at proof? For sure. Where is everybody, guys? Nobody is into this crypto pump. Nobody believes it. I wouldn't blame people, honestly. So proof has an inverse head and shoulder here. Golden cross coming up. Rounded bottom, right? You broke out here. You faked out. Three days moving up. I would say there's a possibility proof pumps up to about 38-ish. We did break this little uptrend fake out pump, but we are in a huge rounded bottom. And you did break out here in the 4 hour. So there's a possibility proof comes back up to 38. Tim, you already took out money on the market. Perfect. Yeah, again, guys, we should drop here off Bitcoin because we broke on the rising wedge. So we should. Let's see. Did we backtest the channel? So no, we didn't actually. So if you're looking at the 1 minute here, the 1 minute broke, but we never backtested. So it could come back up to 69.1 and backtest. This is a perfect rising wedge that we broke, and that's usually when you're shorting it. So yeah, prove you're looking at a rounded bottom hitting the top. I'm not really, actually, let me looking at my liquidity gaps here for you, Thomas. Yeah, you're looking at hitting the top here. I'm not sure if I see it breaking out of the top, but we're just really ranging. We're in this big range. There's a big range here. Nothing's really pumping or dumping. Yeah, this is definitely a good area to short, guys. Anywhere from 68.5 to about 69.1. You'd have to manage your leverage. But it did break the uptrend. It does. Look at that bearish dive. Holy, Bitcoin has major bearish dive right now. All right, guys, hit that like button. I appreciate you. TC10394, how you doing? Thank you for commenting. Thank you guys all for being on the YouTube live. It'll be a nice reset this weekend because we did really good trading this week. For me, I'm not really going to look at the charts this week. I don't trade on weekends anymore. There's no point. There is no point unless you're trading low. Here's what I do recommend. Don't trade low caps during the week. Trade low caps on the weekend. There is my advice. Because if you guys trade low caps on the weekend, you're getting manipulation momentum. All right, guys, I got some more emails about the coaching. So again, we're only going to pick a couple people for February and go from there. So thank you guys who emailed about the coaching. It's pretty much cut off already, but the people who emailed, I'll make sure I talk to. And yeah, it's cut off from there. So thank you. I'll send you guys an email from bslimless@icloud.com. All right. What else are we looking at here? Large caps, BNB. I'm going to put BNB into the mix now because BNB has been really good for a short. BNB hasn't broken out yet. That's another thing, guys, too. When you win for the day, stop trading, right? Tim just won $1,000. He said he's done trading for the day. Well, guess what? Tim just made 10 times a minimum wage job, okay? And I have friends complaining to me every single day, how do I get out of my 9 to 5? I tell them trade. I don't want to trade, okay? Well, do you want financial freedom? Like, I don't know what to tell you. anyways, so BNB looks like it could break out. It hasn't yet. I think BNB did break out on the RSI, so there could be an opportunity for long here on Binance Coin, guys. Could be, possibly. Oh, it's tough for me to long this market. Every time I long the market, I end up losing, except for when I forget about a trade. Well, then that's my only problem. Yeah, if BNB breaks out of here, guys, BNB should pump to about 644. There's the breakout. So it kind of did break out. Good horror movie, cult movie you didn't see is The Empty Man. Kale, check it out. XAU, thank you. All right, so Bitcoin's still ranging at this little rising wedge here. Yeah, you know, we never back tested it, right? So it looks like Bitcoin is going to push up to here, about 69.2 to 1. And then I'd be expecting a back test. If it keeps on pumping, well, I didn't even look at the 4-hour candle. Let's see. So 4-hour candle broke out. 4-hour MACD is going up. Okay, that's like, here's the thing, guys. I could go chase my mistake, try to long the market right now, make money. I could go chase my mistake and try to short the market right now and make money. But I'm not going to do that. And the funny thing is, I knew this one going to bed. I told myself, I will relook at the market. It didn't even break out. I would have been able to get out break even if I was paying attention. I forgot I was in a trade, honestly. I didn't even know I was in a trade. So when Bitcoin went down to my entry this morning, I forgot completely I was in a trade. I'm like, you know what? Not going to trade this. Just kind of funny. Tell your iPhone or your Samsung AI voice that you're in a trade and to remind you. Okay, let's take a look at some. What mistake did I make? I shorted and I forgot I was in a short at resistance on my funded accounts, and I woke up and it was down a lot. I almost got all my funded accounts blown because I forgot I was in a short. It was just an honest mistake. I was in a short, but I wasn't supposed to be in a short if we broke out. I just set an order and I forgot. That's not the first time I did it. And it definitely won't be the last. What I would have done is I wouldn't have even longed this. I would have waited for the top and I would have shorted 69.3. That's what would have happened. But I only lost $1,000, so it's not really that much of a big deal. I've been making $1,400 to $2,000 every single trade on the funded accounts. What prop firm do I trade? 10 different ones. We're going to be doing a really big funded account training on February 21st. Okay, so February 21st, guys, we're going to be doing a really, really big account training for funded accounts, scalp trading. All of that, okay? Doge broke out, kind of. No, Doge definitely broke out. So again, if you guys haven't really heard the gist of what I've been saying, I'm going to be teaching everybody how to get $1 million in funded accounts, okay? Pretty sure everybody makes money here trading. So that means you could pay up to probably $1,500 to get $1 million in funded accounts. In the first part, I'm going to show you guys how to trade one funded account. But when you guys get up to that point where you're taking profit and following the consistency rule, which a lot of you don't follow, I'll tell you that right now. And there are people that say you don't need a consistency rule with funded accounts. You need a consistency rule. The problem with us nowadays is if there's no consistency rule, we're going to keep on trading. When is good enough, right? I asked myself this, actually, my mentor, my best friend, my friends, you know, everybody say, when is good enough for you, right? We all make XYZ amount of money. When is good enough? And that answer kind of lingered in my head. There is no good enough. 20 grand, not good enough. 30 grand, not like, we want more and more and more, right? So if we have that consistency rule in our head or in our funded account, we make $1,500 a day. I think that's good enough. You times that times 5 to 10 accounts, guys, we're rocking and rolling. That's 10 to 20 grand, 10 to 20 in between that range per day. Nobody makes that type of money. Nobody. Like doctors and sure, politicians and all that, but right? So Doge is looking like it might actually run to about 10.2. Whoever gave me this trade is a really good trade setup here. But you do have some resistance right here. So I wouldn't go and long it yet. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I recommend long this market. I don't like longing a downtrend. And the reality is we are in a downtrend. Sure, we broke out on the micro time frame, but the macro time frame, we're in a downtrend. Thomas, I gave you the Doge trade. Awesome. What is silver doing? XAG. Well, silver is getting ready to drop. Gold's getting ready to drop. How about XAU? XAU should push back to the top here at about $5,000-ish. You know what? I'm not really liking the market. Bitcoin trade is the only thing I'd be taking around this area only because they broke out of the rising wedge. Go look at total 3, see where total 3 is. If this was a bull market, for sure. Okay, so total 3 is trying to break out too. I will say this, we do have this much more room to push up to the top of the 4-hour RSI, guys, on total 3, on Bitcoin. Right, we hit the bottom. We're kind of forming a little bit of an uptrend here. Same if you look at total. No, we definitely broke out. I got to see how New York closes at the end. If we get a close above the breakout, okay, we're probably into a real breakout. But what I've been noticing on a Friday is whenever we're pumping, usually before 4 p.m. CST, we normally drop back inside of the breakout. I don't know if you guys look at that. Go back test that. We normally drop back inside the breakout. And yeah. I gave you that trade, Thomas. I don't even remember. How about Cardano? Where's the ADA fanboys at? Or fangirls? Cardano's looking okay. We might actually have a weekend pump to the. So if Cardano breaks out, it could either pump or go sideways to the top here. It obviously is in a downtrend. Cardano's going to be a really good short when we hit the top. We know we're in a downtrend. We know we're going to drop at some point. But if you look at Bitcoin here, the way I'm looking at this, we could pop to about 82. Obviously, we need to break the top here. The problem is with that 82 is this is a downtrend. So in that 82, you're going to have a lot of choppy action up and down. All right. But in the shorter term, we did break this rising wedge. Now Bitcoin is slowing down. All right, what else do we got here? Bitcoin Cash, did we hit my 545? BCH is actually a large cap. So I'm add this to my trade. Look, we hit our 545 target, guys. We went over last night on BCH. $545 target has been hit. We haven't broken out of the resistance yet. Very, very close, so BCH could be a long out of the breakout. What time frame do you trade crypto and prop firms? The 4 hour and the 1 hour. I trade everything on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. I do not trade on the 15-minute or the 5-minute. Actually, I do trade on the 15-minute and the 5-minute. I enter on the 5-minute, all right? Do I hold trades overnight? Lately, no. But I did make a mistake and get in, open a trade at a limit, and it broke it. So, rule of thumb, don't set limit orders. Always set market order. Well, you can set a limit order, but do it when you're ready. Just send it. How we doing? ZBCN. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to be a dynamite long if we can break this. ZBCN. Nice little rounded bottom here on the 1 hour in ZBCN. Yeah, so I could see ZBCN hitting the top here for sure. So I look in the shorter term. You broke out here on ZBCN, so I say we pump up to 0.023418 area. If you're looking at longer term, I think we even broke out there too. Yeah, so the resistance here on ZBCN is going to be here for now. We are below the 200 SMA, so there's a golden cross. Maybe we get a pump on the weekend. The problem is trading in this area, guys. Everything is in a range right here. Because if you look at it, Bitcoin, whatever altcoins we dropped, we're really in a range. So what you need to do is you need to find the bottom and you need to find the tops. Until we break this range, we're going to be ranging, whatever it is, ZBCN, Solana, Bitcoin. This is usually an area we don't trade other than if we're getting the exact bottom and the top. But this should pump up to here in the shorter term. Can I look at take again? For sure. Again, guys, but even though Bitcoin broke out, because we're in a downtrend, nothing is really happening. Like, sure, we pumped a bit, but you're not seeing a crazy pump, a bull market pump, because the macro is in a downtrend. All you're seeing is some volatility to come in to break us out, to slowly get us to that 82K, right? Same thing here on take. Resistance here. Hexstar, how you doing? Good morning. Yeah, take's not looking too bad. It's oversold already. You bounced off this fair value gap here a couple times. So what I would do is I would set a channel right here on take. I could see take popping off potentially to around 7 cents off this channel, but it does need to break this previous high. Bitcoin Cash, we looked at Bitcoin Cash. It is about to break out. So BCH is definitely about to break out of the downtrend, which is actually a long if it does for me. It's a large cap, right? So it is still below here. The only thing, the wild card is Bitcoin broke that rising wedge. Do we range around 68 for the weekend? Possibly. On OG, though, so I'll put up some live trading on Twitch this weekend, guys, as well. So make sure you're signed up for beastlimitless.com. It's free. All right, it's our community. I'll do a live Twitch stream for you guys, since I'm not going to be, not a full Twitch stream, probably like 15, 20 minutes explaining what is happening in the market. But I could see OGN pushing up back to here. We're still kind of riding that break of the channel, but we did break out. So it looks like OGN is going to come back up here, and that would be your key resistance in that area. I would definitely look at shorting it here. Again, guys, I can't recommend longing the market. I just can't. We're not bullish until we get above 82K. Everything is going to be in a lot of downtrend momentum. Can I explain the advantages and disadvantages with prop firms? Well, there's more bigger spread on the MetaTrader, but the thing is, the funded accounts are usually different rules on different prop firms. You can stack accounts, so you can stack like $200,000 accounts. I don't know. I would say you could trade commodities, you could trade gold, you could do that to OMXC. I'm not sure. I personally like MetaTrader better. I don't know why. I think I can't give you a direct answer other than there's a lot more things you can trade. The only problem is trading Bitcoin on an exchange is better than trading Bitcoin on a prop firm. I would say it just has to do with the funded accounts, but you could get funded accounts on any crypto platform, right? But the spread is a lot higher. You're going to be down right away, usually $50 to $100 as soon as you get a trade on a prop firm. Why would I choose that over exchange? Because the funded accounts you can stack, and all you got to do is pay a little bit or pay a lot, and depends, you'll have a bigger reward. I guess the thing is, the bigger reward, the bigger payout is what we're looking for. But I also have prop firms, guys, that you can trade and only pay $50, you got to wait a month, but then you get 100 grand. So it depends your lifestyle, right? I guess that is the short answer. And Michael Chapman, you could get free money. Like one of the prop firms I have, I'm not going to put any names because that'd be dumb. I'm going to give you guys an affiliate link during the training. But one of the prop firms I have is you pay $100, okay? You get funded. You only have to make 2 grand. Really easy. You get funded. And then you got to wait 10 days. But here's the kicker. They give you a free funded account once you cash your first funded account. So that is another thing. Some prop firms actually give you free funded accounts. Like there's rewards and stuff like that. And then you could buy another funded account with that prop firm and then get a second free funded account. So you could have 4 to 8 to 10 funded accounts rolling, and 4 of those funded accounts you have are free. And they are real funded accounts, right? Have you tried prop firm with instant money? Michael Chapman, I'll check it out, right? I'll look at it for you guys. Honestly, guys, if Bitcoin can remain, I think BCH would be my top trade. I'm trying to find a good trade for you guys. I think it would be Bitcoin Cash if we can break out. If, okay? All right, guys, that is it for the live today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember, February 21st will be the training. That is next weekend. Okay. And that is all I got for you guys today. Honestly, this is a no trading market for me today. But if you guys are looking for a trade setup, Bitcoin Cash. And make sure you guys are locked into beastlimitless.com, guys, because I may post, I probably will. I'll post a Twitch live trading, and I may post some YouTube videos this weekend. I just am so all over the place where Bitcoin is going, right? And like right here, guys, follow the trend. There's my funded account history. You can kind of see. Okay, hope everyone has a great day, guys. I appreciate you all for being on the live. And go touch grass. It has been a winning week. We've been crushing it this week. Every single day we've been shorting, we have been crushing it. Every single trade has been playing out. So go touch grass. Spend time with your families. Go buy your wife a nice dress. Valentine's Day is coming up tomorrow. Okay? Anyways, hope you guys have a great one. If I'm shorting Bitcoin, if I'm taking a trade on Bitcoin, it would be around this region. Because keep in mind, Bitcoin broke the uptrend. So this would actually be my short, maybe 69.3. If we break it, we pump, but it did break the trend. It is a rising wedge. We already did close the major hour in the stock market. Tight stop loss, of course. 15 minutes very overbought too. So that would be my short. Okay, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, guys, and we will see you in beastlimitless.com. I will send the email again to the people who want the coaching. Last call for the coaching, guys, and then I'm not talking about this for another month. We're only taking 2 people. I'll put you guys on the waiting list, beastlimitless.icloud.com, okay? Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to roll over here. Great trade.